And Homebrew Wednesday is brought to you by Charlie. Get out me chair! Come on! And an email from the US supplier letting me know that this little item is now available, or will shortly be available, to the European market via Broland, which is, I believe, in Belgium. They will ship to the UK. They also supply some of the major people in the UK, the homebrew shops, so you may see this by Christmas in a English homebrew shop if you can't wait, and you can order them direct. They're €100, just no word on postage yet. I haven't gone through the process of ordering one to see if there is a shipping rate on it. I'll post a link on the comment section to the video of the company. There's a little piece there, but looks quite a good idea. You can see it's wall mounted. If you haven't seen these already, it's also on my Facebook page with the links on there. But it's basically a 30 litre fermenter, conical fermenter, that's wall mounted. I suppose if you want, I don't know whether the accessories are available, you can buy an additional little flask. So basically you can do your primary and secondary fermentation without having to move the beer. You can just drop the yeast straight in, use that to repitch on another brew, and keep your beer in your secondary. For conical wise, it's not a bad price. It's not a huge one, it's only 30 litres, but they say useful content 20-25 litre batch, which I don't know about you, but for me that's probably about all I ever really need to brew. So there you go. If you're interested in a cheapish conical fermenter, I will post a link in the comments section. Well, you know me, never one to miss a bargain. Strange angle. Not that this is going to help, no. Can't be bothered to adjust the camera. Seems a bit funny colour. Got the lights on, but they're all them crappy energy saving things. The soft glow ones instead of daylight. Anyway, it's Homebrew Wednesday again. They come around so quick. So yes, all things conical. Had that email come through literally this afternoon, read it tonight, so I posted it on Facebook because there was some people interested in them, including myself. I emailed them because they were prepared to ship them to Australia, direct from the US, and obviously ship to Canada. But they weren't really interested in shipping to the UK, whether that's for some reason, you know, US to UK postage is more heinous than it is shipping to Australia and New Zealand, I don't know. But they've had a deal with Broland to supply, or using Broland as the European outlet for the supplier. So you can buy them direct, or obviously they will filter through, I suppose, into UK suppliers. But I'm after another conical, possibly, depends on the cost. Again, I think I mentioned it earlier in a previous Homebrew Wednesday, so I don't know when it will be yet, because it's obviously reliant on the company I work for doing an order with the company that supplies them, and finding out how much the 30 and 50 litre conicals cost, because they may still be dearer than I can obviously source them from an alternative supplier. But they're not the wall mounted variety, which is the only drawback I can see with that little fermenter. If you haven't actually got a wall in your house that's nice and warm for fermentation, the other, obviously you could, you know, knock yourself up a wooden box or something, and or a frame just to set it in, or a stand with a plywood back to screw that base onto. Sure, you could knock something up. It looks quite good for €100. Well, I don't know what's that, about 95 quid, 92 quid, something like that. So we'll see what transpires in the future. So it's beer time, isn't it? Well, we go over to I don't know who's left now. I did write a little bit paper down. I don't think we've got many people left for subscribers. I could keep going on, obviously, around the world, but got New Zealand and the USA left. we're a bit dry on New Zealand beers at work at the minute. Well, decent ones. We've got the usual sort of... I have got a nice one in Norfolk cellar. If you've been watching the film, I managed to post a few brew reviews. So we're going to be working our way through. We've done a super strength awful lager and a strong decent lager. I know a few people were interested in this last week. The review is up on this little bottle. Ah, it still smells good. Anyway, yes, we have got an 8-wire for New Zealand. But I want to probably do that as a separate review. So I'll see what I can turn up at work. If not, we've got Mr. Grant Baker's Purebred. What better to do a homebrew review of a homebrew from New Zealand when it's their turn. But this week I was going to do the good old US of A. Because obviously there's one thing that's quintessentially American is trick-or-treating and Halloween. And if you follow my Facebook page, you'll know I'm not a big fan of that. Seems I posted what I had ready for trick-or-treat. But anyway, the Americans will do anything with anything that's edible, drinkable. So, a long time ago, they didn't have hops and they decided, what else can we chuck in beer? So they thought, we'll put a pumpkin in it. This is Brooklyn's Post Road Pumpkin Ale. I know Darren has recently just done the Flying Dog, the Fear Imperial Pumpkin Ale. So that one will come as well. I've had the Post Road before. I think it was a couple of years ago. I don't mind it as a beer, as an ale. It's very nice. Not hugely, but there is a little bit of... I can get a little bit more cinnamon on this one than I remember the old one. There's a little hint of nutmeg. The old pumpkin pie spices. I did try this myself when I made one. And used cinnamon and nutmeg. I know there was one ingredient in the recipe I didn't put in. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been a little bit ginger or something. But, slightly off-white head. It's absolutely crystal clear. Apart from a little something floating about. Might have already been in the glass, but slightly amber colour to me. It's coming at a wee bit paler on the camera, which is unusual. Well, to me on the screen anyway. Still the same as the spices. I don't think they say, they just say it's your pumpkin and spices. Melded perfectly with malted barley. Brooklyn Brewery gives you the Post Road Pumpkin Ale. Delicious rendition of this New England classic. In the 18th century, colonial Americans brewed a wonderful and interesting ales by using local ingredients. Pumpkins were favoured by the brewers for their rich and spicy flavours. Hey ho! Well, let's see how rich and spicy this is now. That is totally different to the one I had 2 years ago. Maybe they've changed the recipe. Or maybe the batch was different, I don't know. It's not huge on flavour. It hasn't got the old sort of traditional ale taste so much, which is what I found more prominent 2 years ago when I drank it. Which I think also was on a Homebrew Wednesday. And as it happens, the very product from that homebrew is here in the last remaining bottle of it, which isn't as lighter coloured as this one, because I used a Young's mild kit, which was the only thing I could get. I wanted a pale ale kit, but we didn't have anything. It seems there's not a lot of homebrew shops where I live, and I'd only just started working at a beer shop which sells homebrew kits, and our range has quite considerably increased since then. But yeah, it didn't taste like this. It was a lot more maltier and just had a sort of more fruity, sort of a nondescript fruit flavour. This is very light, medium mouthfeel, reasonable carbonation. It's calmed down a little bit now. As you can see, the head's pretty much all gone. It's just a little dusty cap there. Get some glass lacing. More spices than pumpkin, which I think from other people's reviews seems to be the primary thing. Whether pumpkin comes through, whether anyone actually bothers just brewing it as pumpkin and seeing what that does without actually chucking cinnamon and nutmeg in. Or I guess in the States you can buy the pre-packeted spices to make your own pumpkin pie, which is something I've never tried. I suppose we could make them, but they certainly don't sell them in supermarkets over here. Although our local Tesco's now does have an American aisle, or a little bay with American foods. Yep. Different. There's a different flavour with it than a conventional pale ale. I don't know what hops they use. I haven't really looked. This was sort of a last minute grab something, turn the camera on, tell you about the fermenter. Good news is I have got next week off on holiday, so hopefully I can make some time to get some brews on for Crimbo. This weekend was the get everything done before the carpet fitters turn up and the chairlift people next week, which include moving a load of redundant vehicles that I have, and discovering that one's got a knackered fuel pump and we had to push it by hand, and my van now has an engine that leaks oil from more places than a Gulf oil tanker. Mainly because it wouldn't start. After an hour of fecking around getting it started and putting it out on the road and leaving it to tick over to charge the battery up, it overheated and has fecked the engine, I think. So if anyone needs a Renault Master with a decent body but a not so good engine, or if anyone knows where a 311 Mercedes Sprinter is for sale to replace said van, let me know. Anyway, it's light, fluffy. There is some fruit notes coming through. Right, well that's pretty much it for me this week. There will be, if I can get up, a few more beer reviews of the ones I've been knocking about that everyone's been waiting for, and I'll put the link up for, I can't remember what they're called now. They're the same people who do that little drain thing. Fast Ferment. That's them. Anyway, catch you next week. Cheers.